Hi, everyone. So you're probably here because, well, you want to get smart on topics quickly.
Yeah, without wading through hours and hours of material.
Exactly. You want the core stuff, the insights that matter, but without getting totally bogged down.
Definitely.
So think of this as your shortcut, your express lane, to a pretty fascinating book, Your Inner Alchemist, Energy Mastery for Abundance.
And it's not just, another self-help guide promising the world overnight.
No, not at all.
Your Inner Alchemist really goes deeper, doesn't it? It's about fundamental transformation through, well, understanding your own energy.
Right. The whole idea is that this internal energy, it's kind of the hidden engine driving everything. Our
Yeah.
thoughts, feelings,
Even
interactions.
how we go after our goals.
Yeah. And the book makes this point that really stuck with me. It's just most of us are only like using a tiny fraction of this inner power.
It's a powerful thought, like having this amazing potential inside that we're not fully accessing.
It really is. So our mission today, just for you, is to sort of pull out the key nuggets from your inner alchemist.
What energy mastery actually means according to the book, and crucially, how it might help unlock a more, I guess, fulfilling life.
Precisely. Okay, let's dive in. What is this energy mastery thing the book talks about? What does it look like?
Well, the book defines it as really getting a handle on and directing four main kinds of energy inside us.
Okay, four kinds.
Yeah, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual energy. And what's key is how they're all linked up.
So not separate buckets.
Not at all. They're like different threads in the same tapestry, constantly influencing each other and shaping how we experience, well, everything.
That makes sense. Like if you're mentally drained, your body just feels heavy. Okay.
Totally. Or when you're feeling really upbeat, you suddenly have all this physical energy.
Exactly. And the book draws on quite a mix of sources, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. That's one of the interesting things. It blends ancient wisdom, things like yoga, qigong, even aromatherapy, mindfulness, but also more modern techniques like mentalism.
Mentalism. Interesting.
Yeah, but the common thread through all of them is this idea of using awareness and intention. Those are presented as the main tools for guiding our energy.
So it's about being conscious, intentional with this inner force. Okay, that brings us to the why. The title mentions abundance. Why does mastering energy matter so much, according to the book?
The core argument is pretty straightforward, actually. Energy is the foundation. It's the fuel for our thoughts. It gives color to our emotions. It shapes how we interact.
So if the foundation is strong.
Exactly. By learning to consciously, cultivate that energy, protect it, channel it where we want it to go, we're essentially building a stronger base for a life with more purpose and, well, reward.
Okay, so what are some of the tangible benefits the book highlights? What might someone actually notice changing?
It points to several things. First, this idea of raising your, quote, frequency and vibration.
Okay, explain that a bit.
Think of your energy like a signal. The book suggests that by tuning yourself to a higher, more positive frequency, you naturally start attracting more positivity, more abundance, like tuning a radio to a station you want to hear.
Interesting analogy. What else?
It also talks a lot about cultivating self-discipline and, importantly, emotional resilience.
Resilience.
Yeah.
We could all use more of that.
Definitely. It helps you navigate the inevitable ups and downs of life with, more stability and grace.
Makes sense. Any other key benefits mentioned?
Yes, transforming thoughts and beliefs, seeing them not as fixed things, but as tools we can consciously shape for growth.
So not being stuck in old patterns.
Precisely. And it encourages creating what it calls sacred rituals or daily habits, little things that ground you, uplift you.
Like anchors in the day.
Exactly. Plus, it offers practical tools, things like specific breathwork techniques, visualization exercises, even just being aware of your body language. These are ways to actively amplify your energy and intention.
So for our listeners tuning in, maybe wanting that efficient knowledge and personal growth, the book is basically saying mastering your energy is a fundamental skill that underpins all that.
That seems to be the core message, yes. It suggests that having these inner resources, the energy, the focus, is what allows you to learn effectively and make real progress.
It's the fuel for the journey, in a way.
You could say that. It encourages you to think about how developing this inner energy supports your goals, whatever they are.
Okay, the why is becoming clearer. But let's talk about that phrase, inner alchemist. It sounds cool, but maybe a bit mystical. What does the book mean by that?
It's a metaphor, really. A powerful one, I think. The book acknowledges that modern life, our routines, our interactions, can often feel draining.
Oh, for sure. Depleting.
So becoming an inner alchemist is about consciously stepping in and taking charge of those dynamics.
So,
It's about learning to transform those everyday experiences, even the challenging or draining ones, into opportunities. Opportunities for growth, for renewal, like the old alchemists trying to turn lead into gold.
I see. But with our internal state, our energy.
Exactly. Transmuting the mundane or even the negative into something valuable using our inner resources.
Okay, so practically speaking, what does that look like? What are the signs of someone living as an inner alchemist, according to the book?
The book suggests they navigate life with more resilience, more clarity. They get better at protecting their energy, knowing how to replenish it when needed.
So less burnout.
Hopefully, yes.
Yeah.
And that strengthens them physically and mentally. Another key point is cultivating relationships that are nourishing, supportive, rather than draining.
That's a big one.
It really is. The overall idea is tuning into your energy daily, consciously. This allows you to live more purposefully, connect more meaningfully, and achieve things without completely depleting yourself.
That balance between achieving and sustaining sounds crucial. Okay, so if someone grabs this book, Your Inner Alchemist, what main areas will they be exploring? What topics does it cover?
It covers quite a bit of ground, but it's all interconnected. It really starts with self-awareness and self-acceptance as the bedrock.
The foundation.
Absolutely. Can't really change what you don't acknowledge,
Yeah.
right? Then it gets into something called practical mentalism.
We mentioned that earlier. What is it exactly?
It's essentially about understanding how our thoughts and beliefs actively shape our reality and learning practical ways to consciously work with that.
So it's more than just think positive.
Oh yeah, much more. It's about the mechanics of belief. Then, the book gives concrete daily habits for energy flow. Things like yoga practices or cultivating gratitude are highlighted as ways to build positive energetic momentum.
Little daily boosts.
Right, and it explores abundance through alignment, this idea that our internal energy state directly influences what we attract and sustain in our lives.
Okay, now, you mentioned earlier, and the reviews point this out, some lesser-known transformative approaches. This sounds like where it might get really unique. What are those?
Yeah, this is interesting stuff. The book delves into the power of mudras.
Mudras, hand gestures?
Exactly. Specific hand gestures used in traditions like yoga. Think of them as ways to consciously direct subtle energy flows in the body. Simple ones, like touching thumb and index finger for grounding, are mentioned.
Okay.
It also talks quite a bit about frequency and vibration, how our personal energy signature influences our well-being and what we attract. And it really emphasizes creating personal, sacred rituals.
Making ordinary moments more intentional.
That's the idea. Infusing daily life with meaning. It goes beyond typical self-help.
It certainly sounds like it. Mudras, frequencies, rituals.
And there's more. Mindful communication gets explored, how we exchange energy with others. Even more advanced concepts like Kundalini activation, which is a complex energy concept from yogic traditions.
Wow. Okay, so it covers a lot.
It does, but importantly, the book stresses that it's not just theory. It's packed with actionable advice, exercises you can actually try.
So it gives you the how-to, not just the what.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Now, for our listener who might be new to some of this or maybe knows a bit, how does the book present this journey? Is it like, follow these 10 steps exactly?
No, not really. It's positioned much more like a flexible toolkit.
A toolkit, I like that.
Yeah. It encourages readers to engage with the material based on where they are right now, to experiment with techniques at their own pace. It's not a rigid roadmap.
So find what resonates and start there.
Exactly. The emphasis is on continuous progress, on gradually deepening your understanding and applying what works for you, rather than some overnight fix.
That feels much more sustainable. Now, the review also listed a whole bunch of specific tools and practices the book touches on. Can you give us a quick rundown?
Sure. It weaves in quite a variety. There's discussion of essential oils, using mantras, those repeated sounds or words for focus.
Mantras, okay.
The physical practices of yoga and qigong, of course. Understanding and using body language consciously. Interestingly, it even touches on financial stability as an aspect of managing your overall energy resources.
Financial stability as energy. That's a different angle.
It is, and underpinning much of it is mindfulness, that core practice of paying attention. The whole point is that this diverse set of practices offers multiple pathways to empower you towards a more balanced, fulfilling life.
It's a truly holistic view, isn't it? Looking at energy from all these different perspectives.
Yeah.
Okay, to kind of wrap this up, What's the single biggest takeaway from our deep dive into your Inner Alchemist?
I think the core message is that this book presents energy mastery, understanding and directing your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual energies as a genuine pathway to transform your life.
A pathway towards...
Towards greater abundance, resilience, clarity, and just a deeper sense of fulfillment, really.
And the powerful idea underlying it all is that this capacity for a better life isn't out there somewhere.
No, the book argues it's already within us.
Right. It's inherent, and energy mastery is presented as the key to unlocking that potential we all have.
Precisely put.
Okay, so here's a final thought for you, our listener, to chew on. Considering everything we've talked about, the yoga, the mudras, mindfulness, even financial well-being as energy, what single area of your own energy feels like it's calling for a bit of attention right now? Where do you feel most drawn to explore or maybe transform? And perhaps what's just one small intentional step you could take today, right now, in that direction? Because this deep dive, well, it's really just the start of your own journey into energy mastery.